Some brands have unconventional spellings like Tumblr, it doesn't have an E, or Quicker for that matter, Frooti, F-R-O-O-T-I, and so on and so forth. But tell me this, as per research, does an unconventional spelling of a brand actually help it or harm it? Hi, Amrit here, co-founder of Core Voice. We do story-led marketing and brand consultancy, mostly for tech startups. And in this episode of Core Insights, I want to share findings from a really cool paper titled Choosing the Best Spelling, CHOOZING, Consumer Response to Unconventionally Spelled Brand Names. It was published earlier this year in the Journal of Marketing by the American Marketing Association. So what the researchers did is they set up a table in a college campus and started distributing free seltzer bottles. A seltzer, for those of you who may not know, is basically carbonated water. Alright. So they had three options, three labels on these bottles. And all of these were made up names. One was called Deep, that was for control. And then the other two seltzer brands were named either Clear with a C or Clear with a K. Conventional and unconventional spellings. Over 320 individuals, the participants, picked up the free samples in the campus. So what was the finding in terms of preference? Amongst those who didn't choose Deep, the control, between Clear and Clear, more ended up choosing Clear with a C over Clear with a K. So unconventional brand name spelling did not really help. Pretty insightful, right? So what explains our lower preference for brands that are spelled unconventionally? To find this out, the researchers picked up two names for a fitness app, Daily Gains and Daily Gains, Gainz. So now again, more than 300 participants were then asked to pick one or the other. But this time, they were also asked to explain their reasoning, like why are they saying they prefer a particular brand. On analyzing the answers, the researchers found that the main reason we prefer brands with conventional names over unconventional spelling is because this whole unconventionalness thing signals to us that the brand is probably trying too hard to persuade us into buying, right? By being gimmicky. And therefore, we don't think they are being sincere, and so we end up preferring them less. So what can brands do who for some reason say are stuck with an unconventional spelling for maybe genuine reasons? What if brands try to make it clear that the reason for their unconventional name is actually a genuine, sincere reason? And to test this, the researchers they reached out to over 400 participants and split them into four groups. 1/4 was told about a seltzer brand called Fresh, P-H-R-E-S-H. And there again, the preference to buy was asked. Another 1/4 was given the same unconventional spelling, but this group was said that this name, P-H-R-E-S-H, was decided by a poll and not by the company. So giving a sincere, genuine reason about it. And then the rest half were given the corrected conventional name, Fresh. And again, 1/4 were said that the name is Fresh, and other 1/4 were also explained that the name Fresh, F-R-E-S-H, was created by a poll and not by the company itself. So what happened? As you may have already guessed, when the participants found out that there was a genuine reason for the wrong spelling, then the preference was pretty much the same whether you spelled it Fresh with a F or Fresh with a PH. Cool, right? And before I end this episode, one last thing. Do you think there could ever be a scenario when an unconventional spelling of a brand can actually give a better result when it comes to preference compared to a conventional spelling? What do you think? So the researchers hypothesized that probably when we are seeking to create some sort of a memorable experience, then we might prefer unconventional brand names. Hear me out, right? So they got 400 participants and asked half of them to indicate their preference for a pub called Extra Chilled Lounge, where the extra is spelled conventionally, and the other half were told that the pub was called Extra, X-T-R-A, Chilled. Now, again, some were told that they were going to the pub to just drink with friends, the usual stuff, while others were told that they have to imagine that it was the last day in Vegas, and they were supposed to create a memorable and unique experience. So we have now 2 into 2. So when the results were mapped, it was found that the participants who were driven by the goal to make their evening memorable, that Las Vegas example, they preferred the unconventional spelling more. But the others, as usual, prefer the conventional spelling more. So anyway, so I hope this was useful, and hope this makes you sort of think deeply about how something as simple as a spelling change in a brand name can have such massive differences in how customers interact with the brand and show their preferences. And therefore, as brand makers, we need to know how to play this game right. See you soon with some more insights.